Hello guys and welcome to another legendary stream right here on Twitch on this beautiful freaking Friday. Of course I'm live on YouTube as well. Zeb, welcome and congrats on being first. Hope you're doing as fantastic. I am definitely doing quite well. I fully recovered from especially last week not feeling too well, but I am so back. We are so back and today is gonna be insane. We are first gonna go through a little bit on the first few, or I should say like the few features that I've added on Advancedly, and then we're gonna get back to some Control and Void Train. It's gonna be absolutely epic. And reminder, tomorrow we are gonna tackle, like actually going to tackle the good luck getting this one advancement. So tomorrow's also going to be insane, because yeah, the preparations are so on their way, and we're really not far away from giving it its first go. Dogmaster, congrats on being first, and I guess Seb officially being first. Dogmaster through the reward. Whatever. Seb, next time you need to remember that there's the reward. It's not fair how Dogmaster keeps getting it, but nonetheless, let's quickly get into some scary code. No, it'll be awesome. It'll be very well worth it. The new release is already out, so go get it if you haven't tried it out. And it's the biggest performance improvement the tracker has ever seen. Let me just make that fully clear. It is absolutely insane. I'm actually gonna show. I'm gonna do this best. Let me pull up on my GitHub page. It's absolutely insane. I might already have my face cam somewhere down there. Where's the chat not visible? Oh, my face cam is covering the chat. Okay. Bang. Bang. Okay. So, good old GitHub page right here. And obviously, if we go to the latest release, CA pre-released, I'm getting pretty far. Like, I've edited the last like 3 hours today. I've also edited before the stream, and I've definitely planned to spend a lot of time tomorrow also editing on the video. So I basically, yeah, dialed a bit back on uni. Which is fine, because I don't have any exams coming up, like, recently, or anytime soon. So, basically, I'm fully locking in on getting this video done. Because it's bothering me. It's been bothering me. But, let's wait for this to load. Hello? There we go. Okay. So, yeah, we will get into detail, but basically, I've added scrolling lists for advancements, basically, or stats as well, if they exceed a certain length. You can scroll through them, different settings for that. Then I also added the door love emote that Dogmaster suggested. That one is in there, and lots of fixes that I already showed last time, with the overlay being more consistent. You have the settings for the shared icons. The shared icons are now based on hashing, so this is a big deal. For example, previously, the cat or the wolf wouldn't have the shared icon, because they would be in different folder locations. So basically, there's the wolf textures for the different wolves you have to tame, and there's also the different cat textures for the different cats that you have to tame. And previously, there wouldn't be a golden carrot above these, because they would strictly just be in a different folder. So, like, the texture for just taming a wolf, or no, this is breeding a wolf. The texture for breeding a wolf or breeding a cat, is in a different folder location than the textures for the actual wolves and the actual cats. But since this is one of the wolf textures, it now, instead of just looking at the file path, it actually compares the content of the image. And if any two images in the first row are actually the same, then it gets the shared icon. And so this is a really big deal. And annoyingly, this actually means that the Vindicator and the Evoker have the exact same icon texture, which that is a bit annoying, but there's not much I can do about that. And then, yeah, we also, I had a small fix with acquire hardware not showing up properly in the achievements template, but I think I already showed that last time. I already added support for version 26.1, because that is apparently going to be the next Minecraft version after 1.21.11. And yeah, added some documentation stuff. Absolutely amazing. So let me just pull up the Git history. And then I think last time I showed up until like version 5.10. So I'm quickly going to show it with this here. This is the version of Advanced that I use for my explanatory video. And basically, well, yeah, the door laugh emote is already there. Do I have like an empty template here I can show? I'll just make a new template that has no content for 1.21.11. And right here, bang. Oh, I haven't moved. Oh yeah, this would be it, but I haven't moved it into here. Right. That's something I need to definitely do. Let's do that real quick. Icons, emotes, bang, and icons, emotes. There we go. And as soon as I add it in, it immediately gets read properly. There we go. So you have the Dolaf emote ready now as well. Super, super good. And then, obviously... Oh my god! Yo, Tran, welcome in! Welcome. So let me go back to the All Advancements template. And now you can already see the shared icon right here. Apparently the Vindicator and Evoker have the exact same icon. Also, the items on the overlay appear in the exact order as they are on here. Very, very important. Hope you have a good Friday so far, Joanne. Welcome. And yeah, I guess there was a small issue that this shared icon size setting, if you change it, this revert changes, a button wouldn't appear, but that is now fixed. Then I also removed, this was something that bothered me, when you might have seen it just now, when you create a new template, there used to be a success message when you click this, but the success message would literally only be for a single frame, because this interface disappears, and the success message would also be in green, would also be in red instead of green, which is just like very confusing. So it looks like as if there was an error. So I removed that fully. And now, yeah, I added the 1.21, the 21.6. It's going to be the first full drop of year 2026. I've added that. Then, and now we get to some more interesting stuff. I've optimized the search feature, obviously for all the search bars across Advancedly, to be much faster. It basically avoids loading anything into memory entirely. So if we just search for like ST, you can kind of see whatever it is there. And ST is monsters, so we get all of this. And you can see already the scroll functionality here. And it behaves as usual. It's just more responsive now, even better. Because I focused so much on performance optimization. And then, as you guys might know, I mean, if you zoom in, you clearly notice like the performance getting better, because this is just generally items that are off screen don't get rendered at all. Additionally now, items that are off screen have their like text height approximated. So it really only calculates the item spacing for the items that are like visible. So basically, for the items that are visible, the text size is like extracted. It basically takes the font itself and then extracts the text size from it. For any items that are off screen, it just approximates it mathematically only based on the font size. So that definitely gave some more performance as well. I showed the hashing thing. Then another thing is that is actually the biggest thing of the entire optimization. Whenever the settings file it receives an update by like moving the window around or whatever, it would immediately trigger an update cycle. So like the settings file updates, the tracker notices that the settings file has updated, and then updates again, and then updates again, and then updates. So apparently in the background, I had, through the settings file, I had the tracker updating, or like file updating, like 60 times or whatever your frame rate was set to, 60 times per second. And I have fixed that now. So it has a bit of a cooldown. I think a 5-second cooldown until it reads again, which is totally good enough. And everything works as expected, but it massively fixed the performance. It insanely boosts the performance. And now the tracker like even runs fully smoothly on my laptop and stuff, and that's like crazy. Same thing, a lot of caching for the shared flag. So also, instead of just using like the hash values, it now remembers which hash values it had and only caches every icon that is important for the shared flag. So these smaller ones here, all of these are only loaded once and only loaded if they're unique. This is also another very important thing for memory optimization. Like I've been doing that with the general icons, but not with the icon specifically for the shared flag. Super good. Been great, thank you. 2 American Christmas cards printed. Oh my god, yes. Yeah, then implemented the smarter blah blah blah. And now we get to the crazy part. Even in the release notes, I wrote freaking pause right here, because this was a huge moment. Look at this, guys. And this is still work in progress. Let me emphasize that. But 1.21.10, I have a Blaze and Caves template. I've just kind of imported kind of the main advancements. There's probably advancements in here that you can't even get. It's kind of I only briefly made it, but for performance purposes, this is enough. I'm just gonna adjust the spacing here. And I've kind of used the Python script to give it all a bit of a naming, but some of the names are still pretty long. So these are just the names based off of the advancement name. Just remove the like formatting. And yeah, now things get crazy. I'm going to turn the scrollable lists down. So this is how many items it takes until it turns into like a scrollable list. The 36 scroll speed, I'll show this in a second. It takes a bit to update. We are talking about, come on. There we go. Like we are literally talking about, look how smooth this is. We're talking about over 1,200 advancements and over 10,000 criteria. Bang. Look at this. And the tracker runs. This is insane. This is absolutely ludicrous. Yeah, and you have these scrollable sections, and a scroll speed of 36 makes it so it's exactly lining up whenever you scroll. Otherwise, you can also scroll like this, right? And the scroll speed, if I decrease it, for example, 25, takes a bit to reload. Bang. And a scroll speed of 25 here. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. You can see now causes some offset, and the scrolling is just slower. But yeah, you can fully configure this. So you have a scrollable section for whenever an advancement, in this case, exceeds 6 items. And the crazy part about this is that any items that are fully hidden within a scrollable list, the tracker doesn't render them in the moment. The tracker does not care. And this is a massive, massive thing, because it means that it, in this setting, it doesn't have to ever render all of the criteria at once, right? Obviously, the LODs are applied the same way. First, the text disappears, then the icon simplify, and as soon as the icon simplify, the scroll bar also disappears. You can see you can still scroll. By the way, you scroll with just the mouse wheel as soon as you're hovered over a section. Then you can scroll. Dragging and everything still works. The main point is the scroll bar obviously also adapts to the tracker text color. So whatever you want to have for it, the tracker will take that, and the scroll bar just kind of has different opacity levels to it, right? But it very much just takes your specified font color. Now, creating my granddad's main Christmas present. Oh my god. You're making a full photo album. Holy. That is crazy. That is crazy. And yeah, you can see this is insane. The more I zoom in, the smoother it gets, obviously. And here, we're dropping some frames. But you know, dude, what are we seeing here? I'm rendering every single Blazing Caves advancement at the same time. And the tracker is very much usable. Like, this is insane, right? Yeah, you have the scrollable sections everywhere. It's incredible. Obviously, if you reduce the scrollable list even further, you can really compact it as much as you want. You can already see it updated. And I'm going to change this back to 36, right? And that way, if you scroll, the icons kind of just line up very nicely. And one more thing I might want to show here is if we go like craft mine and we go to the test template, reset the layout so we get back here, you can see it very much works with stat categories as well. You can scroll here, and if you check them off, they will yeah, just behave as you'd expect. One big thing, obviously, it remembers how far and like your exact scroll position when you check off certain goals. This was a bit of a tricky thing to figure out, because usually it would like reset and it would jump back to the top. But that is also fully working. Then another issue that apparently has existed for a little longer that I didn't notice until recently, that like buttons such as the open instance folder or any of these buttons that either are link to like a website. So this is like, these are linking to a website. These are opening, this is opening a folder. This is opening, these are opening folders. So basically any button now that opens a folder or a link, it just immediately works. It's fully responsive. It's now handled through SDL, which is the main renderer for the Windows. So that's really good. So it fully works that way. Also for other operating systems. Good. And yeah, then another issue that I don't exactly know when it happened, but the multi-instancing works again. There's now a 2-second delay. Every 2 seconds, Advancedly checks whether a new, whether a different instance has updated, or like which instance is updated. So if you're multi-instancing, Advancedly now checks every 2 seconds whether the instance has changed. The responsiveness, if you stick with one instance after a certain point onwards, the tracker's as responsive as usual, but it's just the detection of which instance was most recently used. That happens every 2 seconds. Also massive performance improvement there, obviously. And then also I went through all the settings and clamped the values. So basically you can never enter a wrong value. So for example, -1 wouldn't work, so it's just gonna go to the minimum value. So basically for all the settings that have like numbers, you can literally not input anything wrong. I went through all of them, because recently you'd be able to do like freaking vertical spacing of -1 or whatever. But that is now all taken into account. And yeah, then I added a small clarification for the speedrunning thing on the README, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, like -2, and I guess it just jumps to 0 because that's the lowest value. Also, if you were to go like super high, it's just gonna jump to whatever is the highest, right? And now you have a massive vertical gap here. It is absolutely amazing. We can obviously reset to default, and that's where we are. Default currently for the scrollable lists is 16. I think this is plenty good for a regular template, but you can very easily configure that right here, like 5, and then obviously you have to scroll more, but you also have more space. It is absolutely amazing. So that was a quick rundown on the new features. Go check them out. We're getting really close to the pre-release. I'm making really good progress on the video. I have like everything recorded. The video is going to be like 35 minutes. It's definitely getting shorter and shorter and shorter because I'm getting so many redundant parts out of it. And it is incredible. It's incredible. So I'm making really good progress there. All right. Hope you guys are as excited as me, because, I mean, it's literally feasible now with the tracker to handle a full Blazing Case advancement template. And that's just like mind-boggling to me, because that is a lot of computation. Because the thing is, it uses like 3% of my CPU while the Blazing Caves template is loaded. So it's like so lightweight still. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's get to control. We can go. And then so yeah, I hope this is pretty hype. I am pretty hyped. And I'm going all out now to make sure that freaking release video gets done. Obviously, the tracker will also be linked below all of my tutorials. Same with the release video and stuff and things. Bam, 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 bam. And yeah, that's going to be a huge shield, because obviously for all my speedrunning project in the future, I'll be using it. And yeah, Chuan, if you find the time, I'm definitely looking forward to you contributing to Advancedly as well. But no stress there. Bam, bam, bam. That's gonna be insane.